Dipple.
Come on, won't you say it loud? Ayo, we gon' turn this out. Tom Clark's main event. Dropkick now and powerbomb. Ayo, bro, let's bring this on. Hey, hey, what is up? Oh, Captain, my captain, show the stuff. Power slammer, suplex 2. Hot garbage is just for you. Big breaker, cut a cold red. Figure 4, hot times ahead. Since 2014, it's on. It's a 10 count, but stand up strong. Hey kid, no DQ, strong style. Chop, this is how it do. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back, kids, to the program. I think I flubbed up my line. I'm doing something on one of the screens, and I think I flubbed up my line. I never have anything in front of me to, like, remind me of what to say. I just say the same thing every time. Hey, kids, what is up? Welcome back to the program. Thank you for tuning in. There it is. Should I start over? Should I leave the room and come back? Should I take the screen black? And it's been a crazy week. I'm a little out of sorts. We're going to try to power through this thing together. Together we can do it. I got faith in us. I don't know about me, but I got faith in you, okay? So how's everybody doing? Again, happy Friday to you. It is 4 o'clock on a Friday, and Friday, November 8th. We don't have to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. This is not that kind of show. I got a podcast where I do talk about it, and I've had plenty of conversations this week where I talk about it. But I'm not going to talk about it now. I got the old headphones back on because the pair that I had, and I've put them in my car, I'd show them to you. Those things are going back because I can't take it anymore. Those things are killing my ears. You talk about torture, baby. Torture. I can't do it anymore. These are the good old reliables. These are the ones that stay at home. And as you can see, all the stuff is like chipped off of the earmuffs. I mean, I like them big. I like it to cover my entire ear. I don't like the on the ear. I can't have them too small. I got a big head. No jokes. And yeah, they got to be right. And the ones that I wear all the time, can't find them anymore. Don't know what's happening. I'm sure not going to drop $200 on a pair of headphones. I promise you that. I'll spend money on a mic, but headphones, nah. As long as the sound is clear, I'm good, right? And there's different mics, or excuse me, different mics, different headphones for different uses. If you're just wanting to listen to music, or if you're going to produce audio like I do, there's different sorts of headphones, and they all serve a different purpose. You're welcome. Isn't that great? You come to my show on Fridays, you get an education about stuff you never asked about. Do me a favor, kids, smash the like button, if you will, please, as people start to come in. I would greatly appreciate it. Do me another favor, folks, if you will, share the show wherever you are on the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky. Anyone on Blue Sky? Blue Sky is open to the public. At once upon a time, you needed an invitation to get on that platform. You do not now. It is wide open. So do me a favor, if you will, go follow me on Blue Sky. I'm there as well, and I'll follow you back. It's slow rolling on that platform, but you don't get half the nonsense. You don't get a third of the nonsense that you get on the Twitter machine. And that thing is an absolute smoking dumpster fire. All right. So, yeah, lots to talk about here today, kids. A lot of stuff to get into. We're going to get in here to it today. If you will, again, kids, please and thank you, smash the like button. Thank you very much. I would greatly appreciate it. Before we get going, if you've never watched the show and or listened to it, I'm Tom. What's up? This is my podcast. Been going strong since 2014. We are in year 10, season 11. And yeah, we cover all pro wrestling here. I have 3 other shows that I'll mention to you very, very quickly. Tom Clark's 6M podcast, which is all pop culture / geek culture. And also 2 Nations Under Ted Lasso podcast. Episode 11 is coming out tomorrow. We have 11, 12 in the rundown, and we are done with that show until season 4 debuts, if that is indeed going to happen. And also Tom Clark's Substack podcast. That's the one I mentioned to you earlier. That's not geek culture, pop culture. It's mostly it's me by myself, and just talking about stuff, talking about life, talking about politics, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you would like to check it out, that'd be awesome. Folks, not sure what's happening on the feed right now, but I am not able to identify who's talking to me. I'm getting Facebook user. Not real sure what's going on there. I'm going to bring up the Facebook in another window just so I can see who's talking. So yeah, sometimes it gets a little funky, a little funky. So we will see. We will see. Let me bring it up here real quick. I got to share it anyway. So yeah, I can't. I can see. Yeah. I figure I can see your names there. All right, I'm gonna. Let's see. There we go. So here we go. I'm gonna attempt to keep up with the comments here, kids. Be patient with me because this is going to be an adventure. And again, I really had no way of knowing this was going to happen, so my apologies. I can tell who some of you are just because of what you're saying. Whoop, bump the mic. Can't be doing that. I know Ray's here. I know Sandy's here. Hey, whoever said beautiful Christmas tree, I appreciate you. Man, this sucks. I can't see you guys. Isn't that the worst? Yeah. The problem is if I close the window, I will disappear and the feed will cut, and I do not want to do that. But look, technical difficulties abound. But yeah, sorry about that. It is what it is. So my apologies on that, but we will attempt, as I said before, to power through this sucker, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the show. Go, Pat, go. I know who said that for sure. By the way, E, you do not have to tell me this on the air. But was that post that you put out the other night, was that real? Don't mention it in the chat. You can message me because, again, I'm trying to keep this thing just pro wrestling. But I saw that post you put, and I was quite surprised by the thing you put in that post. And I know that you know what I'm talking about. So if you don't want to tell me, that's fine. But if it was a joke or something, but if you were dead serious, wow. Anyway, to each his own. I'm not going to pass judgment on anybody, but yeah, that kind of threw me for a loop. Oh, is that right? Oh man, brother, because I saw that. By the way, what do you guys see when on my screen right now? Do you see Facebook user or do you see someone's name? Very odd indeed, yeah. And by the way, I can't see any likes, which is going to give me a conniption fit. It's going to give me a conniption fit because I'm a sucker for the likes, as you guys know, right? So yeah, I'll just have to oh yeah, boo. Well, this means I'm not going to be able to put your comments up on the air, folks. I think it's a StreamYard issue. So I'm going to respond, okay? I'm going to respond. And yeah, thanks about comments for the tree, man. You guys are awesome. Usually I get a little bit of nonsense attached to my tree post every November 1st, but nobody did it this year. So I greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. So yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'll do what I can here, and apologies for not being able to put your comments up on the air. It's evidently something on my end. I assume it could be the platform. For all I know, it's Facebook, but I can't say that for sure. But again, we have powered through with far worse conditions than this, and life she moves on. Yeah. So yeah, all good. We will, as I said before, it should be fine. All right, kids. If you will, when you comment, introduce yourself. I'm sorry to make it weird for you, but if you would do that, I would appreciate you. I'm going to attempt to see here. Let me open. I've got myself on the screen. Huge. There we go. Yeah, I've got some. Yeah, it's going to be funky. It's going to be funky. Well, that's all right. All right, folks. Who said it's snowing in Colorado? Oh, wow. What's up, Shane? TikTok creators have got banned because of WWE content in Saudi Arabia. Wow. They were showing reactions to matches. I mean, look, we've made our position, or at least I have made my position clear here on the show many times in the past, as recently as last week. I'm not a fan of the Saudi Arabia stuff that company chooses to do. Not my company. I don't own any stock in them. I don't work there. I don't have family that works there. So at the end of the day, it's fine. It's not fine, but I guess it'll have to be fine, right? But yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of it. I think the whole thing smells bad, and I believe it always has. So yeah, just one guy's opinion. Sandy said it's cold in Germany. Brother, it's starting to get chilly here as well. All right, so if you saw the topics for today, we're going to run through them here. Number one on my to talk about list is Sami Zayn. No one, I'm sure, forgets how incredibly compelling Sami is on the mic. But when you hear him talk and cut a promo, especially when he's interacting with somebody in the ring and not just talking to the camera, you are reminded of just how incredibly good Sami Zayn is on the mic. It is, he's quite compelling. He's quite entertaining. He's very, he's charismatic. He's thought-provoking. It's easy to believe him. Yeah. I know everyone suspects and everyone expects that he's going to reform with Roman and the Usos. I like the fact, and look, I've been straight about this too. While the bloodline thing has captured the imaginations of fans across the world, and with good reason, there are moments when they're cutting promos on each other where I'm like, oh my God, I got to take a nap. Because they take a long time. And you guys know that. The entrances take forever, historically. And, there's this thing where Roman doesn't talk and he turns his back to the camera like it's a Broadway production, and it's fine. It's working. Who am I to judge? I'm not calling pox on anybody. But, to me, sometimes it can get a little, oh God, wrap this up, get to the point. But when Sami took the stage this past week, man, fantastic. Fantastic. Everything he said to Jay and Jimmy was correct. He made valid points, strong argument. Very, very, very hard to argue against the character of Sami Zayn in that moment. It's fantastic. I'd love to know what you guys think about that. I'd love to know, because we all assume it's going to be Roman and his guys versus, Solo and the other guys. I mean, if you believe anything you hear, supposedly Rock's not going to be around for this, but I don't know that for sure. It's just what I've heard. We shall see. Yeah. Let's see. Ray says, all day, is that picture real of him and the Usos when they are very young? I don't know. I mean, you got to think Sammy's been in the business for a long time, and he was in Ring of Honor. And the Usos grew up around the business because of Rikishi. I can't answer that question. I mean, you never know. Photoshop's a very, very, very dangerous tool. It can be fun, but it can also be very, very, very dangerous for sure. Yeah, man, my stats between what I'm seeing here in the platform and what I'm seeing as I'm live are two entirely different things. So my apologies about that. I'm going to try to keep up here. And again, I'm kind of flying blind here, folks. So again, sorry about that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it all pans out. But I think we all suspect, we all know where this thing is going. And, that's fine. I think it makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense, actually. And, yeah, I'm totally fine with it, dude. Totally fine with it. I think it's going to be a heck of a show. I think it's going to be a heck of a match when it does happen. Let's put it that way. For sure. And it's the only thing that really makes sense, honestly. Sandy says it was a pick of them probably around 18 or 19 years old. I don't know. I don't really know. Let's see how. I'm about to share this on the Tom Clark's Main Event Facebook page. Yeah, buddy. Look out. All right. Yeah. Again, I can't say enough good things about Sami. He's totally in his element. It's very, very entertaining. I like that he's getting pulled back into this now. Don't know what it means long term, but I think we know that this means that we're heading to a major showdown between both sides. which again makes all the sense in the world. Sandy says War Games will be epic for sure, no doubt about it. Yeah, we shall see what happens for sure. The good look. I'll sign off about this in a second. The good thing about this Sami Zayn thing is that it's heartfelt, it's emotional. He makes valid points when he's talking to Jimmy, and it's just again like he's pointing out the number of times that Roman, they all turn on each other and it got real nasty, and it's like, what in the world makes you think that we're gonna? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, you can't trust me. That was really, really well done. Excellent storytelling. Excellent storytelling. I'm split on Sami. In one way, I can see him with the bloodline, but I'd rather see him with Kevin Owens. Does Kevin and Sami get into it again? Sugar Shane says. Can I be honest with you? I think Kevin and Sami are both great. I would not have those guys work each other again for a good long time. That's one of those blood feuds, kind of like Swerve and Hangman, that kind of just needs to sit there. And I wouldn't do any. If it's me, I'm not doing it either way. But if I were, I would say let's just keep them hands off for as long as we can. Honestly, because it just doesn't make any sense to me because you can revisit that whenever you want to. You don't need to do anything right now. And plus, Sami's going to have his hands full with this new bloodline and old bloodline stuff. I don't think you need to mix it up with Kevin at this point, in my opinion. Let's talk about Malakai Black real quick, kids. What did you guys think of the Adam Cole match on AEW Dynamite Wednesday night? Brother, let me just tell you something. For everybody that got heartburn, this is a two-pronged story here. The House of Black have been playing very nice with everybody lately. Brody King, shook Darby's hand. Buddy Matthews has been playing nice. And then we get this. And Cole puts him over on his way up the ramp. And he hugs him and stuff. And it really, really felt like, holy cow, right? Does this mean he's gone? And everybody lost their minds and said, well, he's gone. He's gone. He's retiring. It's over. Malakai Black on his Instagram said, nuh-uh, not true. I'm not going anywhere. All he did was hug me and say good match, and that's all that was. That's not a retirement. It wasn't an angle. And he went off technically on anybody, I guess, but he wasn't crazy happy with fans about with what he said. And, again, this is a two-prong. I have two-pronged feeling on this. Here is what he said. He posted a video on Instagram. Quote, I'm not injured, nor am I retiring, or am I leaving. I feel this happens every match I have, and I don't understand how many times you're going to say these things and then them not happening, and people are still going to fall for that. I haven't been injured in more than 3 years, and I'm referring to my back injury, of course, and I only posted about that after it was already done. And if you would have read the post, you would have seen that and not read what other people have written about it. I'm fine. I've been fine for the longest time. I'd really appreciate it if it just stops. If I'm going to retire, you're going to hear it from me and not after Adam just cuts a promo just as a thank you for the match, because that's all it was. So thank you, end quote. There you go. There you have it. Straight from the man's mouth himself. Not retiring. Here's the other part of this two-pronged conversation. Prong number 2 is that when the old man left for the last time, what did we all hear? Malakai wanted out. Now, I don't know that was ever confirmed by anybody. I don't know that there was rumors and innuendo. And I don't recall off the top of my head if it was indeed confirmed by Meltzer or anybody else, okay? But we all it was easy to believe, okay? Not because anyone questions Malakai's loyalty to AEW, I don't think, but because those kinds of things started happening. You know what I mean? That because he and Triple H are very friendly, supposedly, that he wanted to go back. That's part one of the second part of the prong. The next part of that conversation is the way that match ended with Cole, it kind of really felt like Malakai was done. Now, it's okay that it didn't. But here's the not issue's the wrong word. Issue is the terrible word for this. The point that I am making from the ground up is this. You are the House of Black. You are killers. You are the beasts. You are effing evil, man. You are, the underworld. I mean, that's your gimmick. Crushing, killing, ripping dudes' heads off, steamrolling guys. Brody's shaking Darby's hand. Buddy's shaking people's hands. Malakai just hugged somebody. I love all three guys. I'm going to not stop enjoying their work. Don't get me wrong. I just don't understand what I'm looking at. Remember when I vented here a month ago and told you that I'd come up with my own theory on what AEW truly is versus what we all believe it to be? Do I need to refresh your memory? I'm sticking to my guns on that. That theory encompasses what's happening here. House of Black should be feared, in my opinion. Feared. They're not feared now. Do I mean that's the end of the world? Absolutely not. Do I mean that they've ruined their no? Don't anybody misquote me here. I'm not saying any of that stuff. I just don't see the same faction of three guys that I saw before. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm blowing it out of proportion. If I am, please feel free to tell me, because maybe that's what's happening here. Someone says he is not leaving, but sources. What sources, though? What sources? Because, November 7th, yesterday, this was on his Instagram. Now, look, anything can happen. We never say never for any reason. Any reason, okay? But when the man himself says, guys, stop, I'm not going. I don't know. I'd like to know what sources. That's all. That's all I'm asking. JP on the YouTube, what's up, my friend? JP, I can look there. YouTube works. It's the Facebook. That's what's happening. JP says House of Black is going through the Dark Order kind of thing where they turn face for a while till they get their spark back. And I don't believe face in a heel anymore in that company. JP, you're not wrong, but I don't believe anything else about heel and face in that company at all. I've let it go. And I try not to even discuss it anymore. Not even with friends. I try not to even talk about it because it's hogwash. Sorry to curse. It's hogwash. There's no heel and face in that company. There's not. We can say there is all day because our brains are wired as traditional pro wrestling fans. And I get it. We shouldn't be, because it's only been this way since, how long? The 50s. Because there should be heels and faces. This company vehemently disagrees with me, and that's okay. They don't have to please me. Don't go changing. Try to please me. I love you just the way you are. Look, again, they don't have to do anything. It's fine. Someone says WWE has no heel or face either. Yeah. I don't know if I feel that way. The shades of gray thing, which we have talked about here on this show numerous times over the years. I've been on the air since 2014, man. I have been podcasting since 2014. You can imagine how many times I've talked about heels and faces and heels and tweeners and riding the fence and blah, 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 blah. I've talked about it forever. I've been involved in companies where I'm booking backstage and we talk about it. I've written blogs. I've written website pieces where I talk about it. I've been on other people's podcasts where we've talked about it. And so, yes, I am in the camp of, if you don't have heels versus faces, then I don't know what you're doing. I genuinely don't know what you're doing. That's not pro wrestling to me. Well, again, my theory on AEW is that it's not traditional pro wrestling. So that's out the window. Wardlow is injured, from what I understand. JP says they're on the fence. JP, I didn't direct that at you, man. You and I are good. I'm just not going to buy into labeling anymore because every time I tried, something funky happened, and I'm on my couch going, "What?" Right? Makes me crazy. I can't wait till Julia comes back as well. For sure. Who's saying their daughter is sick? Sorry to hear that. Whoever said that. Yeah, because I can't see names. If you're just now popping in, I can't see names on my end. There's some sort of connectivity issue, I assume. I can't see any names here. It's effing weird. I'm not. I don't like it. I wouldn't recommend it. Ray says the ending was super weird. I was like, Black was just giving up and saying, let's get this over, in my opinion, but Cole looked good. Cole looked good. And I'm not going to make a judgment call based on one town on one night. But that crowd did not care about Adam Cole. Now, I'm not saying it's over. I'm not saying he's in trouble. I personally do not think they've cared about Adam Cole since he came back. Adam didn't do anything wrong. Adam's great. But in my opinion, this whole thing with MJF, the way that they've tried to shoehorn in, and kudos to Adam Cole for doing his best to get it over, but it didn't get over, in my opinion. It didn't get over. This idea of, well, let me explain to you why I had to heel out on him first. And, you know, people spent a lot of months booing the Undisputed Kingdom, and now they're supposed to cheer them. All right, man. You know what I mean? Again, you see how I'm chill? Because I'm not getting wrapped up in it anymore. I used to question all the time. You guys know, you've been here for a while, right? I'm not doing it anymore. I just won't do it. Who's saying Tony is shoving this down our throats? I can't agree with that. I think it's just another storyline that they want to run. It's just another storyline they want to run. Do I think it's working? In my opinion, it's not working. But this is going to be hard, as MJF's not going to be there every week. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world to do. And they set up these trials to make him run this gauntlet, and he's got one match left, I think. So that's 3 weeks that Max doesn't have to be there, right? He can just, and he probably won't be there for a couple weeks after that too. It's fine. But like, I really believe, you can watch this live on YouTube. I stream live to YouTube as well. No. Yeah. Whoever's asked, no, dude, ask away. Go to Boink Studios on YouTube. And while you're there, follow the channel. Sometimes, can I be honest with you? Sometimes I've contemplated just going live on YouTube and just running it from there that day, but I suspect I wouldn't get anybody viewing. Maybe I'd be wrong. Boink Studios on the YouTube. And of course, you guys know what you're doing when you get there, right? Just go into the live tab. Here's you a link. If you guys have the YouTube, you'd rather go comment there, I could put your comments up there. What a grand idea, whoever said that. Go check out the channel. While you're there, subscribe. Wouldn't that make you awesome? Yes, it would. Go make me a happy guy. Are you kidding me? We all get along. Hear my chair creaking? God in heaven. Please don't put Hook with Christian. I don't know. We'll see. It's that company, man. Sandy says, what are my thoughts on NXT ECW show? I can't. Oh, you're talking about, I get what you're saying. I have not watched it, Sandy. I'm going to have full transparency with you here. I've not watched it. I've not been a fan of NXT in a long, long time. I know that's kind of been seesaw with that brand, whatever we're calling that. But I haven't watched it in a long time. I was genuinely into it when it was Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano and when it was in its prime, getting all the independent guys and just blowing up. Great fun matches, great fun events, man. If you were given a chance to wear a Packers jersey or walk on broken glass, what would you choose and why? Jeez. This ain't the open floor. What a weird question. What a weird question. I don't know. I don't know. Is the only reason it's E, I'm sure. The only reason E's saying that is because I've historically been a Vikings fan. Can I be honest with you? I have not been into it that much. I've not been into it that much at all. Meaning the NFL. Also, all right, so CW, you're talking about CW, NXT, CW. Got you. Sandy says ECW because didn't they run in the old ECW arena? NXT? Am I getting it mixed up with another company? Or was that TNA? Oh my goodness, someone remind me here. I feel like I'm getting my wires crossed. JP says, I look for you wherever I can, no matter where you are. Thank you, my friend. You're awesome. Who's my college team? Traditionally, North Carolina. Traditionally. Because I'm a Jordan guy, so that's the teams I traditionally follow. It's never State, and it's absolutely never Duke. I promise you that. Sandy! Yeah, NXT from the ECW arena. Yeah. I have not watched it. Heard it was a good show. Again, don't watch. I just don't watch. Kids, if you want to jump on the YouTube, feel welcome to. My kid's good, man. He's at home with his mother. He's not working today, but he's doing well. He's still holding down the job. Still eating me out of house and home. I won't say that to him. I will say that to him. That boy, I swear. Why Strong involved in this feud, a handicap match would have made more sense than a triple threat when nobody's a champion and no number one contendership on the line. What are we doing here? Look, we don't need any more number one contenders to a world title in AEW. We just don't. I don't want to go back down that road again. I do not want to go back down that road again. I'm not saying that the match is a great idea, okay? But same time, yeah. Ooh. Yikes. Kids, we're already at the bottom of the hour. Can you believe that? We've got a couple more things to cover before we get to the open floor. All right. But you know how we roll here, don't you? Before we do that, let's do this.
Boink Studios is the home of Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M podcast, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Visit the site today for links to every podcast platform, social media, special announcements, and a lot more. Check out the site and bookmark today, boinkstudios.com.
There we are, boinkstudios.com for all your podcast links to all 4 of my shows. And here's something else you can do for me as you're going to visit that site and bookmarking it. Please and thank you. Here's something else you can do. Check me out on thelist.com. Thelist.com. Different kinds of stuff. None of it's pro wrestling, but I guarantee there'll be something on there that you'd like to read. At least I hope so. Let me drop my bio page here. I've written about 7 or 8 pieces, I think now. That I've only got 3 published because I, along with several other folks, were brought on at the same time. So they sort of have a backlog of things to publish. But go check me out on thelist.com. Please and thank you. I could even share screens to show you what I'm talking about. Wouldn't that be nice of me? Don't think I didn't think about that saying, that Jericho List line. Yeah. By the way, kids, let me put it up there for you. List.com/author/Tom Clark. Boom, there I be. Go check me out, man. See, there's the logo. It's the YouTube, Jack. What do you need? What do you want? I got you. By the way, I can't see if you folks are liking the feed, hitting the heart button, but do it for me if you haven't. I'll see it eventually. I'll see it eventually. If you would do that, that'd be awesome to me and for me, and thank you. Yeah, we got to do that. You know, I keep telling you we're going to. I've been Like I said, it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy few months, actually. Phil and I were going to record on Wednesday. We did not. We're supposed to record after the show here today. Not sure if we're gonna. It's possible. I've reached out to him. We shall see. We shall see. Again, crazy week. Crazy week. For sure. Maria says the Hurt Syndicate sounds more over and is interesting than the Death Riders. First off, whatever that music is that Mox and his crew are coming out to, not a fan. Nothing beat the Death Rider music from New Japan. And they're calling them the Death Riders now. It's a great name. It's fine. It fits. I don't really have a problem with it. That music, God freaking awful to me. If you didn't want to use the New Japan stuff, fine. But when you start using generic, it just sounds like something from a generic website. Now, to be fair, I've not listened to it in my ears through headphones, so maybe I'd change my mind. Yeah. But yeah, I don't, the Death Riders. It's fine. Thank you for the segue as well, Maria. Let's talk about the Hurt Syndicate. Let's take a moment to appreciate the awesomeness of MVP, Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin. Here's what I think. I'm not saying this is the case. I'm not saying this is the thought. And I'm not suggesting this is what AEW is attempting to do. Don't misunderstand me. None of those things is true, at least not from my chair. But here's what I believe. When you see intricate, layered, textured storytelling, as we have seen with this bloodline thing, one of the things that makes that work is that you're getting to know the characters apart from what they do as a group. You know what I mean? Like you're seeing the emotions and the motivations and how guys turn on each other and they incorporate real world stuff into it, right? In my opinion, when I see the Hurt Syndicate on my TV looking like that, number one, they're stars. Can we be honest? Number two, they're going to add a fourth member fourth. Don't know who it's going to be, but you have to believe it's only a matter of time before they do it. They look fantastic. And I'm not saying that we need a segment every single week with them on the mic in suits not wrestling, but I'd kind of be okay if we did because they're fantastic. And I want everyone to do me a favor within the sound of my voice. When we think about the next member, let's just think about whoever could be a good fit. Okay? Because if we're talking about so-and-so may be a good fit, is that guy black? Because if he is, let's back up and think about that. Now, who have they approached so far in AEW? 2 guys, African American. Okay? So with that being the case, it's okay if someone says, well, hey, they should go after private party. But it's also okay if you say, well, they should go after, I don't know, insert random white wrestler here. Now, again, I've said this multiple times before. I don't know this, and I've not done the research to find. It's as simple as a Google. If MVP's goal with this group in this company is to focus solely on African Americans, if so, fine. You know what I mean? If that's his choice, fine. But for me, JP says Wardlow. I like Wardlow a lot. I like Wardlow a whole lot. I don't know if I put Wardlow back with another group. Would he fit with the Hurt Syndicate? Oh, brother. I think so. But how many groups would that make for this guy? You know what I mean? Like at some point, roll with this guy. It doesn't mean you have to put a world title on him tomorrow, but roll with him, man. Maria says Hobbs. I wouldn't do it because Hobbs just came back face. You want to know why I say that? They need, all right, face. You see, I just did it again. You're right. I don't care. Put him wherever. Here's how I'll explain it. When Will Hobbs came out, he got a positive reaction from the audience, and he tagged with someone who also gets positive reactions from the audience. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm very discouraged by the whole thing. I shouldn't be. It doesn't matter. Ray says Sammy Guevara should join. That'd be interesting. Because they've got one of the best technical wrestlers, you could say arguably of his generation for sure. They got one of the best big athletic men of all time in Lashley. They don't have a high flyer. They don't have a high flyer. JP says, what do you think about the Archer and Cage tag team? I love both those guys. I love them together. I don't need to think about it too long. My head was going to go in different directions with that question. I think they're great. I love the idea of them being pushed as a solid killer tag team. We'll see how far it goes. And again, I know it sounds dour and I'm trying to be all negative about it and stuff. We'll see. He says, what if a female joins? Love it. Love it. Who would it be? Queen Aminata? Ooh. Okay, Queen Aminata. Sold. That's really good. But you got to dress her up too, man. You got to dress her up too. She can't be coming out there in jeans and a t-shirt. You got to dress her. You know what I mean? Not that she would. You got to dress. You got to look the part, man. You got to look the part. I love it. I love that. Oh, man. There you go. There's your answer. See that Facebook user thing? That's why I know who you are. Like, see Colton Gunn go out on his own. And all in good time. I want to see the Gun Club stay together for a good long time. And I want to see them, Bullet Club Gold. I don't want to see them bust up anytime soon. Love Mercedes. They don't need her. It would kind of feel like, why are you putting two main event guys together? What's the purpose? Unless they're going to feud them against each other later. I don't think she's a fit. It's me talking. I don't think she needs them, and I don't think they need her. Sandy says, hot take, what if Montez would leave WWE and go to AEW to be a single star? Would it work? Sandy, I have a challenge for you. Give AEW an opportunity. You're missing some quality matches, my friend. I don't think that's a hot take. I think Montez is young enough that he can go somewhere else if he wanted to. I think he'd have probably a very good run in AEW. He's very athletic. He's good on the mic. His character work's come a long way. He's a great tag team wrestler and a good singles wrestler too. I think he could have a good run, and hopefully they do right by him. Put a TNT championship on him. Boy, that'd be fun to watch. He's definitely, in my opinion, the most dynamic member of that tag team for sure. And what a fun tag team. What a fun tag team. Someone says put Chris Stanley out with the Hurt Business. But that's getting positive reactions from the audience. Because I can't say heel and face. There's no such thing as that company. JP says Montez isn't leaving WWE with Street Profits anytime soon. Don't apologize for your opinion. It's fine. Anything could happen, but you could very well be right. He could retire from there in 20 years. We don't know. Anything could happen, man. Last thing I wanted to touch on here today before we open the floor. Kenny Omega's return. I complained about this for 2 weeks. I'm going to complain about it again. Kenny Omega cuts a promo when he came back on New Japan's show, by the way, on New Japan's show, not AEW, New Japan. And talked about he wants to wrestle a New Japan star. I just don't understand. And this is not heel and face anymore for me. This is arguably your biggest, the guy the fans love the most in terms of he's your guy. He is your guy. Okay. He's one of the, for lack of a better word, pillars around in that company from day one is Kenny Omega. His return to TV should be epic. The first time we see him should be epic. It's over now. He was in New Japan. Go look it up. YouTube. You don't have New Japan World? Who cares? YouTube. Look it up. Who cares? Doesn't mean anything now. Will he get a pop when he comes out finally? Sure. Will they move some tickets? Probably. Will the ratings go up? Who knows? Will it be as impactful as if they just held on to him, kept him under wraps, didn't say that he was healthy? He never tweeted. He never talked on socials. He kept to himself. He didn't speak for New Japan. He didn't go on their TV. He didn't appear for them in the live show. He didn't cut promos in Japanese and talk about how he wanted to face one of their guys at Wrestle Dynasty and all this other hoo-ha nonsense. No, it will not be as impactful as if all that had never happened. Period. End of story. How are you Tony Khan and you let your biggest fish appear for the other? And you know what? You know what's awesome is that for as many people who maybe agree with me, there'll be twice as many that say it doesn't matter. You don't have an arsenal of Kenny Omega level guys that are not on TV right now. You got one, and it's the Kenny Omega. I'm not saying Kenny has to take the belt from John, but also Kenny probably has to take the belt from John. We all thought it was going to be Darby, then it wasn't Darby. Now it looks like it could be Orange. It's probably not going to be Orange. Then it could be Darby again. It's probably not going to be Darby. But it could be Kenny Omega all day. Or Kenny cost John the title, which sets up an amazing blood feud, like which we haven't seen in a long time. But guess what? Maybe none of that happens. And if it does, who cares? I'm telling you guys, man, when you lessen the impact of your biggest guy, it is something that people do not forget. And this idea, we have been told for years, since the day that company rolled out that logo and said, we're coming, right? From that day, we've been told, well, it's a mixed audience, baby. AEW fans know New Japan. It's a mixed audience. They know what's up. They're smart. They watch both companies. And now that Kenny has appeared in New Japan, if anyone that criticizes it, well, their fans don't know. Are you high? What weed are you smoking? It's illegal, I'll bet you. Can't have it both ways. Their crowd absolutely knows what's happening in Japan. Does every single person that bought a ticket know? Maybe not. Does the majority of them know? Probably so. And they know that Kenny's appearing on somewhere else. Think about how it looks. That's all I'm saying. Bucks are gone for a while, says Shane. Yeah. I don't have any idea what's going on with that. I know supposedly that their dates are up for the year and you won't see them till January. We'll see. By the way, whoever's stupid idea that was, again, you're the owner of the company. How you let this stuff happen? God's sake. You know, I mean, you could argue that the Bucks are, you know, they look like they were kind of phoning it in. Me and Phil talked about that. You know, they kind of phoning it in, like they didn't want to. They just weren't putting forth a lot of effort, and then now they're going to take the rest of the year off. How you let that happen? Founding members of the company. What's going on? It's your company. You don't want something to happen. Don't let it happen. I don't know. What do I know? They're over there making all that money, and I'm here making no money. So what do I know? Not a whole lot. Maria says Tony has to put his foot down and be a real boss when it comes to the big stars. He knows he's lacking stars, and he lets MJF take another break right after Mania, after coming back to film a movie. But MJF just signed a long-term deal, supposedly, and he's a company guy. And by the way, anytime he does something outside the company, it is good for AEW. Does it mean it boosts their ratings? No. Does it mean they sell more tickets? No. But in my opinion, anyway, I think it does help AEW. Who does it help him more? Probably. But let's put it to you this way. If he had went to WWE, would he be allowed to do any of that stuff? No chance. There'd be no chance. Well, never say never. Never say no. No, I don't think so. I think he'd be working all day, every day, twice on Sunday. He wouldn't have a chance to get a drink of water, for goodness sake. They'd work the dog out of him. But in this company, he can move around. So my thoughts on Kenny Omega and AEW is I don't think AEW's average fan cares or watches New Japan. I disagree. I'm not saying they watch religiously. I'm not saying it's a full-time following either. But I disagree that they don't know. You want to know why? Here's why. And they know these guys now. Everyone knows Zack Sabre now. Everyone knows Tanahashi and Okada, right? But before, when these guys were first setting foot in an AEW ring, listen to the crowd. Blew the roof off. Every time. There's recognition there. They know who these people are. You see what I mean? They're watching Stardom. They know who the women are. I mean, look, I'm free to be wrong. I'm wrong all the time. Doesn't mean I'm right about this, right? Just the way I see it. Fernando, what's up? Do you think the documents is going to be a major plot? I think so, but don't count on it. Don't place your bets. Don't bet your life. Chances are it'll mean nothing because they start stuff and they don't finish. And they go over here and they go over there. And they go up here and then they go down there. And they talk about this and they quit talking about it. And they tease this and they don't do it. And then what's worse is, hey, I don't have a microphone. Hey, I just got here. I want a title match. All right, you got your title match. In 2 weeks, a title match. And they never work again. Hey, wrestling. It's fine. I don't care. I'm still watching. I haven't abandoned AEW. I enjoy the show. I watch every week. I don't say these things to complain. It's just the logic of that company is so incredibly illogical sometimes that it makes me truly want to take a nap. My opinion, when we see Hikuleo on TV, they're holding him for a reason. They're holding him for a reason. I mean, he's got to be with Solo and his guys. He's the third brother. He's got to be on that team. And I still don't think those guys have a chance at all to win a match. They're going to play up the history of Roman and Sami and the Usos, and that there's troubles there and there's things that haven't been rectified over the past, 5 years, whatever the number is. They're going to play that up to make you believe that this team could lose the match. They're not going to lose the match. My opinion. We'll see. He says 19 years ago, Eddie Guerrero wrestled his last match against Mr. Kennedy. Rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero, for sure. Let Seth Rollins be in the new Captain America movie. Yeah, dude, I'm so looking forward to that film. I'm a big Captain America guy. I'm a big Sam Wilson guy. I'm a big Anthony Mackie guy. I can't wait for the African American Captain America to be on my movie screen. Marvel's going to do it justice. I'm in the bag for Marvel. If I haven't made that abundantly clear, I'm in the bag for that company. No matter what they want to do, no matter what they want to produce, I'm here for them. By the way, anybody catch Agatha All Day? Such a good show. I'm a real fan of that show, dude, for sure. JP says, I will always watch TNA, AEW, WWE, and if I had access to ROH and MLW in New Japan, I would watch this too. MLW is on Access. Is it Access? Someone tell me if I'm wrong. JP, if you ever want to check out New Japan, it's $10 a month. Completely up to you. I know money's money, and we're all trying to watch what we do. I get it. $10 a month, man. And by the way, you get access to their archives dating back to the very beginning of the company, which means you get all those matches, all those superstar talents that came back to the States and, world champions and tag teams and stuff. You get all that stuff, man. Very cool. Sure, Shane says, "Well, Yellowstone ending. What TV show did you hate to see coming to an end?" I never got into Yellowstone. It wasn't for me. I was a big fan of Loudermilk. I hate that Loudermilk ended. That show had the writing on that show's utterly fantastic. Still can't believe that they took it home. I don't understand it at all. But I hate that show didn't continue, for sure. Who else? Because I was just talking about this with somebody the other day. What shows I was into that were canceled? I wanted to see them continue with Cowboy Bebop on Netflix. I enjoyed season 1, and I'm a fan of the anime too. Oh, because when people hate something, they run to the Twitter like that. People hate everything. People hate everything. It's weird, man. I wanted to see what was going to happen with that, and now I'll never know. Time Bandits, the reboot on Apple TV, fantastic. Fantastic. One of the most well-written in terms of dialogue, fantastic. Canceled after 1 season. Isn't that something? I know how to curse. I curse more than I should. I don't curse on my shows, or I do it right now because it upsets me thinking about it. Ray says Outcast or the Fugees. Outcast all day, every day. Part 2, Ludacris or Fabulous. I'll go Ludacris. And if Adam Cole invited you to the grand opening of the Cole sneaker store, in which you could pick any style sneaker and any brand, I would take the original Jordans. Number 1s, the red and white and black. That's what I'd choose. The originals. For sure. Would you please call me? For sure. Later want to get dinner that included mac and cheese, cornbread, and a slice of sweet potato pie. Could I join as well? Absolutely. I've never gotten... Is Tulsa King good? I've heard good things. By the way, Sandy, Aston Villa has been struggling. And what's funny is I've not had a chance to watch these games they've lost. That's why they lost. I had a chance to watch them. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I love watching Premier League. I love watching Aston Villa. Tomorrow they got Liverpool tomorrow, by the way. We'll see how it works out. We'll see how it works out. They were number 4. They dropped to number 6 in the Premier League rankings. Ooh. If you're following the Premier League, kids, Liverpool is on top. Man City is down to number 2. You believe that? Nottingham is at number 3. Chelsea's number 4. Arsenal moved up to number 5. Villa down to 6. Tottenham 7. Brighton 8. Fulham number 9. Fulham is Tony Khan's club. Bournemouth is number 10. What about Bournemouth beating Man City a couple weeks back? Holy good Lord Almighty. You kidding me? Whoever's saying hi, I can't see your name. It's a weird, wonky thing that's happening on the Facebook. It says, sorry, I'm so late. It's my daughter-in-law and grandson's birthday. Happy birthday to them. And we just got home and getting ready to go out. Bowling. Nice. I haven't been bowling in a long time. Tony, what's up, Tony? Says, if you think Villa is struggling, trying to be an Everton fan. By the way, where is Everton in the grand scheme of things? Number 16. You might be struggling just a little bit, Tony. Yeah, you might be struggling just a little bit. Yeah. Yikes. You've got, what are you, 2 and 5? Long way to go, right? Long way to go. 2 and 5. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I understand. I heard Dutch Mantel and his wife are not doing well, and he's got a GoFundMe page up. Oh, all the best to Dutch, man. For sure. Oh, what's up, Jean? How are you? Jean posted a pic of herself in one of my shirts. I appreciate it. Not my shirt. Don't anybody get weird. It's a shirt with my show on it. You know. Jean, I appreciate you very much. Thank you for putting that up there. I might have to get my show back up. My shop back up. I don't think I ever took it down. I need to do some work on it for sure. Got to update the logos, do some new designs. If you guys cared about that at all, I mean, you know, maybe I will. Fernando says, more influential group, Public Enemy or NWA. Ray did this to me a few weeks ago. I don't think I can answer that respectfully. I don't think I can. I don't think I can. It's just too tough because they're both equally, in my opinion, they're both equally influential. It's hard to answer. I'm not trying to get out of it. It's just hard to answer. Fernando, is that you? I heard RH is going to get that on TV, but one of the reasons they put the belt on Jericho. I'm still not a fan of it. Yeah, we'll see. Sandy, I appreciate you. I know you got a shirt, one or two of my shirts, I think. Yeah. Gene, you're awesome. I appreciate you. Well, kids, I'm tired. And I may be recording another podcast after this one here today. But I will let you know if anything were to come up next week. Before we get out of here, I want to say very, very, very quickly, if you will, to please, if you have not followed us, by the way, episode 11 comes out tomorrow of this here little show called Two Nations Under Ted. Before we go, do me a favor and watch this.
Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast, reviews all episodes of the Apple TV series with opinions from both sides of the Atlantic, featuring Tom Clark in the US and Jay Luft and Joe Higgins in the UK. Join them as they dive into all 3 seasons of Ted Lasso, with both video and audio versions available on boinkstudios.com.
There you have it, kids. Episode 11 is coming out tomorrow. That means next week, 12, and the week after is the series finale, series rundown. We're going to be eating dinner on that, or lunch on that show. Because if you followed the show, you know we talk about food all the time on the show. And so, yeah, there you go. It's going to be fun. We've had a great ride. I've had a great run. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Hopefully Joe and Jay have as well. And if you followed the podcast, hopefully you've enjoyed it right along with us. Ted Lasso, one of the best shows of all time, my humble opinion. I'm hoping if a season 4 indeed is happening, that it's good and it's respectful, and they've got a lot of the same writers on board. That's the goal. That's the hope. E, I thought I'd sent you my pot already. Have I not? Come on, E. You're messing with me. E, go to boinkstudios.com. Boinkstudios.com. Wrong link. Here. Go to boinkstudios.com. And Ray, if you're not, I'm sorry, Ray. If you are E, if you're not following Boink Studios, you should. Who said RH is dead? I disagree with that. It's been mishandled, in my opinion. It's been extraordinarily mishandled, but I don't think it's dead. I think as long as Khan wants to keep that brand alive, he's going to keep it alive. It's dead, traditionally speaking. You're right about that. But I don't want to think it's over yet. I just don't want to think it's over. I don't think they should ever retire that brand. And you know what? He owns it. If he wanted to, he could. And if it ever became, this is the Ring of Honor championship, it could just be a championship. I'm not saying they should do that. Don't get me wrong. But if they wanted to, they could. They wouldn't have to worry. But then you got all that footage, all those archives. What do you do with them? You start an AEW channel. That's what you do, an AEW network. With the WBD deal coming, we'll see. We'll see. E, go to the YouTube. It's Tom Clark's Substack podcast. I think you'll enjoy it. I hope so. Kids, that's all I got for you today. Remember, please and thank you. Go to boinkstudios.com, BOINK, boinkstudios.com. Find all the podcast links, social media, and a lot of other stuff. Follow me on thelist.com. I would greatly appreciate it. That means loads to me. If you want to follow me there, thelist.com/author/Tom Clark. There you go. Follow my writing on that channel, on that website, please and thank you. And remember to follow and subscribe to Tom Clark's Main Event on all the podcast channels that you can find, that you were everywhere. Tom Clark's 6M podcast, Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast, and of course, Tom Clark's Substack podcast. That's all I got for you, kids. Do me a favor. Have a great weekend. Take care of each other. Be safe out there. If anything comes up, I'll let you know. But if not, we will see you 1 week from today. I appreciate you very much. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for being patient. And as always, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time, folks. Be good. and take care. Catch you later.